A 3-year-old girl seemingly vanishes from her home in rural Weston, Virginia on Saturday, September 24th of 2011. She vanishes under mounting suspicions, but no proof at the time that her mother, Aliyah Lunsford, knew more than what she was saying. There were zero answers to where she was. Then years later, someone came forward with critical information that would change the course of the entire investigation. The break in the case came in 2016 after Lunsford's 2 daughters, who were 9 and 11 at the time, came forward and told police what had happened to their sister. Now, fast forward a few years, and the sisters are living with new adoptive parents as they were taken away, considering the circumstances. Destiny, who's 15 years old now, but she was just 9 when she watched her mother hit Aliyah in the head with a piece of wood and then hide her body in the woods after she was found dead the next morning. She explained the whole situation and what went down. Craig and Cammie Cole adopted Destiny and 5 of her siblings about a year after Aliyah disappeared. At the time, the Coles hadn't heard of the Lunsford story, but quickly learned the details, including that her sister's body had never been found, and no one knew for sure what happened to the little girl. We kind of had some suspicions, but we just didn't know what exactly they knew, Craig said. I always thought that they were very loyal to Lena, wanting to protect her, but what I later found out was that they were actually very scared of Lena, and that's why they were holding their secret. Out of fear, not loyalty. In June of 2016, the Coles got a call from investigators in Lewis County that Aliyah may be alive and that she had been sold to a motorcycle gang. At this juncture, the police were chasing this lead that she had been kidnapped and we were going to find her. I'd already set up a bed for her and a room for her, and we were praying for her to come home and say she's going to have a lot of brokenness and we are going to need help as she transitions, and we're going to find her. But Destiny knew that wasn't true, and she was in the midst of finding her faith and becoming closer to God. In October of 2016, she said she couldn't keep the secret any longer. She was in the car with her father after leaving a church event when she decided that it was time to tell the truth. And then finally, I was like, I got this. I don't really remember what I said before, but I know I turned to my dad and I was like, I know where Aliyah is. And I was like, well, now I got here and there's no turning back. So I think that was the hardest part, she said. Destiny remembered in detail what happened to her baby sister. I was doing something in a different room and I heard commotion, so I ran to see what was going on, and I did witness our mom take a board to her head and she fell. She said Aliyah kind of collapsed on the floor. I don't really know the time between her going to bed and staying in the corner or whatever, but I do remember mom saying, fine, just stay there. Destiny said Aliyah was already treated differently than the other siblings and had much harsher punishments. When she did go to bed, she wasn't allowed to wear any clothes, and her bed was stripped full of sheets, so it had the regular plastic bed. That is just heartbreaking, guys. She went to sleep, and we felt her head before she went to sleep, and it felt squishy, like I had said. She said that her head hurt really bad. I remember waking up at one point in the night, and she was breathing. She was fine, and I went back to sleep, and that morning, I was awake and doing something in the bathroom, and our mom told us to go get Aliyah up, so we did. She wasn't really responding, and she wasn't breathing, and her chest wasn't rising or anything. The next morning, Aliyah was dead as Lena frantically tried to revive her, but refused to call for help. When nothing really worked, we went and we took Aliyah out to Vedas in a hamper, and we left her there. On the way back to our house, she said, hey guys, we've got to make mommy a promise. She had never called herself mommy before. It was always mom or whatever. She was like, everything will be okay and everything. You just have to trust me and keep this little secret. Can you promise mommy that? And we're like, yeah, I mean, what else are you going to say in this position? Craig contacted authorities in Lewis County, and Destiny was soon telling her story to investigators. She was able to point out the board that Lena hit Aliyah with, and even the hamper that she used to carry her daughter's body in the woods with. Timeline police desperately tried to piece together for years now was finally falling into place. At the time, Kiara did not know, however, that her sister had spoken to police and told the truth. Law enforcement came up with a plan to bug the Coles' home in hopes that Destiny could get Kiara to also tell her story. The 2 girls were left here by themselves, and Destiny had a microphone on her, and they had microphones planted around the house. And I sat up in the road and was texting Destiny, and Destiny was scared, and I was texting her different things to say. After several hours, batteries started to run low, and they were worried the operation would be a bust. But suddenly, the girls started talking just before time ran out. Craig said, they're talking, it's happening, and I just burst into tears, and I was just like, oh God. In our 3rd hour of that bug, she could have made a conversation happen, and that had not happened in 5 years ever. Soon after, Lena was arrested. The trial was the first time that the girls had faced their mother in years. During Lena's trial, one of Aliyah's sisters testified that she witnessed her mother strike Aliyah in the head with a wooden bed slate on the night of her murder. She said Aliyah was struggling to get up, but her mother ordered the child to stay in a corner for hours. The sisters ended up taking police to the wooded area, but an extensive search yielded no results. During the trial, police officials said it was possible that a coyote or another animal could have gotten to her body. Lena was sentenced to life without mercy for her 3-year-old daughter's death. Aliyah Lunsford has been now missing for 14 years, and to this day, her body has not yet been recovered. That is all on this case. It's absolutely heartbreaking. This poor girl endured so much in her only 3 years of life. Next time, stay vigilant and stay safe. Much love.